Are you listening now?
I'm Anna. I am a foreign correspondent. I'm co-creator of the Bike Bureau and Dutch News from the Cycle Path. And I'm also a mum. I always take a deep breath before talking about this because it feels so intimate and personal, but it's so important to share because in 2016, when I gave birth to my daughter, I quickly realized that these two great loves, my child and my career, were going to be quite tricky to manage simultaneously. And so for a while, I kind of juggled, holding my baby in one arm and the tripod in the other. But that just wasn't sustainable. And so then I discovered an electric cargo bike, and it doubled as a playpen and a TV studio. And suddenly it was like, oh my goodness, this is it. I can be a mom and I can have my career. And that realization and that discovery has been life-changing, really. It has kind of created the whole trajectory that has brought me to where I am today and saved my career and my sanity, I think. It's probably not an exaggeration, actually. Making sure my daughter has enough snacks to stay quiet during lives. Plus, so when I was trying to navigate this new path, having a baby and having a career, there weren't really any examples for women who were doing all of these roles, mostly single-handedly and simultaneously. And so I felt as though, because there weren't any examples, I had to become the example. And so that has kind of been the push and the drive behind everything that I do. I'm really conscious that we always hear this expression, like, you can't have it all, you can have it all. I just think that phrase is really unhelpful. And especially when we hear high profile women saying, because I had kids, I lost my career. I just don't like fueling that narrative, because I think that we're doing a disservice to young women, and we have a responsibility to find ways to keep both passions alive, because there's no doubt you can love your career, but a child comes along and there is competition there. And how do you make that work? And you need to find a way to make it work if you're passionate about doing that, because otherwise, what message are we sending into the world? That you have a child and then you abandon everything else, you fall off the radar. I mean, that's happening. Women become invisible in the workplace. And so my vehicle was an electric cargo bike, which allowed those two things to kind of coexist. And there can always be a way. I just think you have to believe there is always a way. And that has kept me kind of pedaling along on this unusual journey. Strong coffee. A desire to be the change. I just want to show that, not that you can have it all, because that's not a helpful expression, but that if you believe in things enough, and if your passions are something that you truly believe in, then you can make them work simultaneously. There is always a way. You can keep on being a successful singer with your daughter by your side. You can be a foreign correspondent and a hands-on mum at the same time. And yeah, having an electric cargo bike has been pretty crucial in that journey. What keeps me unstoppable? My daughter keeps me unstoppable. She fights the urge to sleep every day, because she just clings onto every opportunity to play and explore and be creative. And then she wakes up in the morning and she'll snap awake and be like, okay, come on, mommy, let's go. And even if I say 5 more minutes, just rest for 5 minutes. No, mommy, get up now. And she just, so in a sense she does, but seriously, what keeps me unstoppable it's still really a challenge every day to juggle all the kind of competing roles. And what keeps me at it is not wanting to be somebody who kind of vanishes from the radar because I want to give everything to being a parent. I just think that I want to be able to do both. And so if every day is kind of about being all of those things and staying sane. Who has inspired me? So many people, and so many in so many different ways, in so many different parts of life. So I remember watching Caroline Hawley, who is still a BBC Foreign Correspondent, on TV, and she was in Iraq, and she was a relatively young woman on screen reporting in a war zone. And I was at school, and I thought, wow, I want to be her. And then through the years, and she knows this, and through the years, other women doing similar, but in different ways. So Lise Doucette, her humanity and the way she kind of just brings so much of herself into her reporting. And both of them are genuinely supportive and kind, and the kind of people that I am inspired by, but they make me aspire to hold on to those qualities and values and kind of pass it back on down the generations. But then also in terms of parenting, I would say my mum and my sister, because they are always present, and that's something that I endeavor to do with my daughters. So I'm not in front of a screen, I'm not kind of elsewhere, I'm just, when she's there, I'm there. And that's, yeah, I see how she benefits from that, but how I do as well. If I could ensure one thing would be truly unstoppable, it would be the journey to gender equality, except I would kind of turn up the voltage and make it happen like that. Oh, so school run, but also working on a podcast. So just kind of creating the artwork just now, and we're going to try and do the first cargo bike based interviews from the cycle path with innovative, inspiring people. And also I'm working on a book, which is Stories from the Cycle Path, working title, kind of going beneath the Dutch culture and using my journey as a foreign correspondent here in the Netherlands to kind of explore and deep dive into some of the issues affecting Dutch society and beyond. So if I could nominate someone to be unstoppable, it would be Kate Vandy, who is co-creator of the Bike Bureau. But as a kind of friend and colleague for so many years, I know how much she has kind of pushed through various barriers to succeed. And she's still so supportive and positive. And I can't have a conversation with her without feeling kind of uplifted and inspired afterwards. And I think that's what female friends should do. That's what female friendship is all about. So, and also she's a joy to cycle with, obviously.
Are you listening now?